This Brock Purdy podcast is really interesting. He covers a lot of ground. He talks about the Niners' down season last year when they went 6-11, and he always speaks from the heart. He's very earnest. He isn't trying to be funny. He's trying to be sincere, and I appreciate that about Brock Purdy. So when he was asked what happened last season, he thought about it and said, we were really tired. Some of these older players, you play into February, you get 5 weeks off, you got to come back and report. It's exhausting. And I believe that to be the case. But it's also one of the worst excuses I've ever heard. And again, it doesn't mean it's not valid. It doesn't mean he's reaching. It just shows that the 49ers should have torn down their team last year. They should have seen this coming. They knew they had one of the older teams in the league. They knew they didn't change much about it. They knew they wanted to run it back with a bunch of guys in their 30s, and that's a bad idea. Other teams play as many games as the 49ers. I'm thinking the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills. These are teams like the 49ers who typically go very deep into the playoffs every year and have short, abbreviated off seasons. The Chiefs don't have a 6-11 season. The Bills don't have a 6-11 season. Why? Well, maybe their coaches are better than Kyle Shanahan. Maybe their quarterbacks are better than Brock Purdy. But I think a big deal, what we're talking about here, the fatigue issue, that has nothing to do with the quarterback or the coach. That has to do with the rest of the team. And the fact is the Niners have held on until this year to a lot of veterans who played a lot of games, while the Chiefs and the Bills typically churn their roster and don't hold on to a bunch of overpaid vets and bring in lots of young guys who haven't been through these grueling long seasons year after year. For them, it's new. So that's sort of how they do it, and it's clearly how the Niners are trying to do it now. And I guess, got to give them credit for understanding that they did have a fatigue issue last year because they were old. I'm 37. I know how it feels. So good for them. They're trying to get younger. Bringing back the fullback doesn't make sense, but other than that, they're trying to get younger.